Welcome back to the Fire Burns Within channel. Time for tonight's discography ranking. Tonight I'm doing the almighty Virgin Steele US epic heavy metal masters. They've got 13 albums in total, 13 studio albums. They've got a lot of odds and sods albums, but I'm not going to rank those. I'm ranking official studio albums only. They've been going for a long time. I think back in 1981 they started. First album released 82. They've been sort of less active in recent years, but every now and then they turn up with an album. And I've been a big fan of Virgin Steele for quite a while, quite a long while indeed. Big fan of David DeFay, his vocal style. Just love his vocal style. I think he's awesome. Although in recent years his voice has changed quite a bit, and not for the better, unfortunately. It's sort of a bit different now, but let's not get into that. Let's just quickly rank these Virgin Steele albums. I love Virgin Steele. I think they're awesome. I've seen them live twice as well, which is quite a miracle in itself to catch them live, because they obviously don't play here often, or play anywhere often these days. But anyway, let's just get on with this. In last place, 13th place, we've got the debut album Virgin Steele, released in 1982. This one is it's not a great start, it has to be said. It's got hints of something good about it, but David DeFay's vocals are not in good form on this. He's yelping and screaming a lot. He hasn't sort of harnessed the power, and the production is very thin. The songs are very glammy as well, very glammy. So it's more or less sort of, I don't know, Kiss-like glam rock, but with a little bit more epicness to it. But it's easily my least favourite. In 12th place, we've got Nocturnes of Hellfire and Damnation. This album, I think, is their most recent album, if I'm not wrong. Most recent studio album, yeah, released in 2015. This one didn't work for me at all. I don't know. It's got elements that are okay, but it just never really worked out for me. David DeFay's vocals are very sort of thin sounding and whispery. They're not like, they don't have the power of old. You know, the lion power, the David DeFay the lion. I want to hear the lion roar, but he's not quite roaring like the old days. So it's in 12th place. In 11th place, we've got the second album, Guardians of the Flame, released in 1983. This is a good album. It's sort of almost quite, it's, you know, getting to the Virgin Steele style, the epic style. It's getting there. It's not quite got the, you know, the power and the flourish of the later albums, but it's sort of okay. It's hinting at glory. And the title track is one of the, you know, standout moments of this album. In 10th place, we've got Age of Consent, released in 1988. This is a good album. It's a little bit too glammy for me. It's sort of, you know, it's got hints of epicness and it's got hints of glam. It's a mixed album. I mean, it's got some real awesome moments, like I forget the title now. The Pompeii song. The title's just gone out of my head. But that song is awesome. And then it's got too many sort of ballads and sort of wishy-washy songs, which are not my cup of tea. I like when the lion roars. I want to hear the lion roar. So Age of Consent is in 10th. In 9th place is the Blacklight Bacchanalia, released in 2010. This one is a sort of latter day Virgin Steele album. It's got, you know, epic moments, Again, Mr. DeFay, his voice is not in tip-top shape in my opinion. It's not like the classic times that, you know, around the late 90s, early 2000s. But Blacklight Bacchanalia is just about an okay album. It's got some good moments. In 8th place, we've got Visions of Eden from 2006. Visions of Eden, I was really looking forward to this, and it was a slight letdown. The main problem with this album is the production. It's just not good at all. It's very thin sounding. They actually did a remix on it, released a few years ago now, quite a while ago now, and the remix was much better. It was sort of punchier, heavier, more guitar based, but the original mix is very thin. But the songs are actually quite good. They're epic. David DeFay, he sounds quite good. He sounds fairly, you know, like his old self. Not, his voice is starting to get thinner, but it's still got remnants of the older style. So in 7th place, we've got Life Among the Ruins, released in 1993. I think this is a good, solid album. It's sort of a mix between, you know, the slight glam and the slight epicness, but it's got some great songs. The title track is absolutely awesome. It's a solid album. It's good. It's around the 7.5 out of 10 mark. Okay, in 6th place, we've got Noble Savage, released in 1985. This is the 3rd Virgin Steele album. This is when the lion's roar is, you know, it can be heard very well. It's still got some elements of glam metal. You know, it's sort of like a epic glam metal, if you like. It's got sort of lots of wails from David DeFay, but he's also got his raw, and then he's got epic songs as well, like Noble Savage, the title track. Angel of Light is an awesome track towards the end. There's some great songs on this. I mean, I really do enjoy Noble Savage. The production is a little bit thin, but it's much better than the early days. You know, we're getting towards understanding you know, how Virgin Steele is going to develop from this point on. Okay, the top 5 albums from Virgin Steele are all great. They're, you know, I like them all a lot. They're all very good. You know, on their day you can swap the orders around, but for the purpose of this, I have to give them an order. So in 5th place, we've got The House of Atreus, Act 2. This is a very solid album. You know, it goes with The House of Atreus, Act 1, obviously, which is coming up. This is a good album. You know, it's epic. It follows the story of the Greek myths and so on. It's just a good, solid Virgin Steele album. David DeFay, he's in his pomp. He sounds good. The production is sort of sharp. It's not the world's best production, but it's sharp and it's heavy, and the songs are epic. There's lots of instrumentation, and the length is very, very long. It's like a maximum you can get on one CD. In 4th place, we've got The Marriage of Heaven and Hell, Part 1. This is an awesome album. It's really good. Epic metal. I'll be repeating the same things. You know, David DeFay, he sounds great. These songs are very good. Maybe I slightly prefer Part 2, but we'll get there. In 3rd place, we've got The House of Atreus, Act 1. Yeah, slightly better than Part 2. Between this and Marriage and Heaven and Hell and Act 2, there's very little in it, you know. They're all much of a muchness. Epic, heavy power metal. You know, thinking man's Man of War, as the Virgin Steele fans like to say. Okay, the top 2. The Marriage of Heaven and Hell, Part 2, sits in 2nd place. I love this one. This is an awesome album. So many great songs. Some of the best production that you'll find on a Virgin Steele album. Very thick, very heavy, very enjoyable. But the number 1 album for Virgin Steele has to be Invictus. This is the first Virgin Steele album I ever heard in my life. I remember actually hearing it in the record shop. I went in there and I asked the guy behind the counter, "Can I listen to this disc?" And he said, "Sure." And he put it on the player, and I went to the listening post and I started listening, and I was just amazed. I was listening to it for a good half an hour. The disc is like, it's a full disc. It's nearly 80 minutes long, but I was listening to it for half an hour, just engrossed. And then I finally said, "Okay, I went back to the counter and I said, I'm taking this one. This one's a keeper." So Invictus is an almighty release. It's just dark, melodic, heavy. David DeFace sounds the best he's ever gonna sound in his life. The songs are just epic. Every song is good. I mean, it's hard to say which one's better than the rest. The title track, the last track, Veni Vidi Vici, Through Blood and Fire, one of my favorites, Sword of the Gods. Every song is just amazing, epic heavy metal. You know, it's just great to listen to. So Invictus is my #1 Virgin Steele album. And that was my discography ranking for the almighty Virgin Steele. Stay tuned.